Welcome everyone. This is Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Rearden and I will be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about discipline, integrity, and how that equates to success. Recently, I just wrote a blog that came out and it is going to be not talking about, well, if you want to be successful, then you have to do this, wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, you have to do this, and you have to showboat, and that can be success. Many people want that success. Many people want the cars, the houses, the riches, the fame, the jewelry. They want all of it. However, success does not have to be that. But many people, they don't want to have the values instilled in them that equate to success. That's going to be discipline and integrity. People who have poor discipline most likely don't have high levels of success. And same thing with integrity. Integrity is one of those hits or miss. It's almost like a moral compass. If you have a good moral compass, then you could be a person that can be trusted. Easier to make sales when you can be trusted. For example, here at Reven Concepts, we are transparent. What you see is what you get, and we go over and beyond for all of our clients. And I always get this with a client. They go at the end of the first session because they're maybe a little skeptical. I understand you're spending some money. You're like, that was better than I thought. And I always say, well, what do you think? They're like, oh, I thought we were just going to talk about emotions and feelings or something, whatever they say, right? But it's sound logic, because when we look at coaching, especially here at Reven Concepts, we do it in a way that is connected to your current mindset, but helping you get to the new mindset that you want. I see it. I can build it. I've done it before. I can do it again. And you might think your life is complex. It is not. Yes, you have hurdles, which are obstacles in your mind. We can get over them. But how do we get to that road to success? Yeah, we can get a mindset coach. But let's start with this blog right here so I can tell you exactly how you can begin. All right, everyone, if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and to subscribe, and to share the video and our audio to help build a community of people who want success as bad as you do too. Because when we look at success, it is one of those things that people can think is out of reach. Oh, I'll never have $1 million. It'll take me so long to make $1 million. People do the math, right? They make $50,000 a year. Well, they get their fingers out. How long will it take me to make $1 million? Making $50,000. Well, if you are making $50,000, you are selling your short by $950,000 every single year if your goal is to make $1 million. Now, your goal might be to make $1 million in your lifetime, and I encourage you to move that goal up in priority. Make that goal a year. I understand people make $340,000, $350,000, and this is a good income. You can get your $1 million in about 3 years doing that. But I want you to have the mindset of shooting all the way up to that million in 1 year. How do you do it? There's different ways. Okay. I'm not going to talk about the different ways to get to $1 million. If you want that, sign up for a consultation. We can definitely talk about some options. There are many different avenues a person can take to be successful when it comes to money. Now, the road to success, uniting discipline and integrity, is going to be one of the core foundational mindsets that if you hold true, you're going to find success. It might not be the level of success you want. You might need a step up, and that's when you get a coach and you learn different aspects to this, because discipline is what? Going to the gym, making sure you show up on time. Yeah. Integrity is what? Having a moral compass, not selling yourself short. Yeah. Cool. How do you mix them to make a foundation, right? It's almost like the housing in China. They skim the building process and they wonder why their housing or their buildings are falling apart. They're not mixing the concrete well enough. They're trying to skimp because they're trying to budget to pocket more money for themselves. But when it comes to success, you cannot skimp on success. You need the best of the best. You need the cream of the crop. My wife often talks about this to her friends, and I find it to be, you could talk about whatever you want. She talks about how we go out to nice places to eat. And I'm just thinking in my head, why am I going to go someplace bad? Like, we don't go to fast food places, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. Yeah, I see them all the time. We drive right by them. She doesn't even say, why do we never go to McDonald's? Because we are not trying to fill our body with junk. Fast food makes you slow. And we have to be disciplined in what we do. And we have to have some integrity, not to just eat a cheeseburger when we're hungry, because that pain of hunger can tell you something about yourself. Do you want immediate fixes to the things that you have in your life? Or do you want to feel the pain? And for many people, they don't want to feel the pain. They don't want to feel the struggle. They don't want to go through the hardship of what success truly is. It's a hard path. Not everyone's going to want to walk it. People who do walk it realize they do not want to walk it anymore and they stop. Why do you stop? Why not keep pushing? It's because of the mindset. So when we look at discipline is going to be split up into 3 different categories in the blog. We're just going to briefly talk about them, and then we're going to go to integrity, and then we're going to have a discussion. The first aspect of discipline is the aspect of setting and reaching goals. Sounds like common sense, right? However, if you know anything about setting goals the right way, you might get a book, a journal, and you're like, okay, I'm going to write down my goal. I'm going to put it somewhere, right? I'm going to put it by a light switch because I always turn on this light. See that whiteboard behind me? I have goals. I have plans on it. They are something I see all the time. Do I write new goals on there? Yes, I do. But I understand that whiteboard is not going to make my goals come to reality, come true. Yes, I can see it every day. You see it every day. But just writing it down and putting it someplace is not good enough. So when we are setting our goals so we can reach our goals, we need accountability. We need to tell somebody what we're about to do. And then we just have to show up. If you do not show up, then the person is going to know in the back of their mind, oh, you didn't make it. I know it's almost like peer pressure, but it is the best way to take action. The best explanation I can give you is think of procrastination, right? Procrastination is something that we make up in our mind that we don't want to do something because we don't like it. And then it comes to a point when we do it and we're like, I'm glad that's over, right? We procrastinated to the last minute. Procrastination is literally the fear of doing something until the fear of not doing is greater than the fear of doing it. I'll say it again. Procrastination is the fear of doing something until the fear of not doing it is greater than of doing it. So people procrastinate on success. They procrastinate on many different things. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later, and later never comes. So when we set our goals, I talk about it in the blog, how to set the goals the right way. Read the blog. The second critical aspect of discipline is the ability to manage time. Now, this is a big one. If you can think about setting goals and then managing time, how long is it going to take you to be successful? How long is it going to take you to realize that you have to take action today, right? You can say you're going to go to the gym every single day and don't go to the gym. You can say you're going to work out when you get home and you don't work out when you get home. Yes, you set the goal. Yes, you have ambitions. You have aspirations. You might have a good, strong mindset for it. However, you don't know how to manage your time. So when you get home, you fool around on your phone a little bit. Then you maybe call somebody or you watch some TV. And before you know it, the day is done. So we need to manage our time better. When are we most effective? Most people are effective in the morning. Some people are going to be effective in the evening time, depending on your mindset, personality, work ethic, what type of job you have. Because some people, they work nights. So they have made their whole entire body operate of, like a night person, like a bat or whatever. That is a nocturnal way of living. So they might say, well, the night is when I get everything done, not in the morning. To each their own. So I'm not going to say the morning is when you win. It is when I win. But just because my morning time is my success time, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's your success time too. So understand to manage time, and then setting goals is not just about writing it down. It's about having some accountability. The last aspect to discipline is going to be the skill development to your growth. If you want to start a business, let's say making coffee, maybe you make a decent cup of coffee. But if I wanted to start a coffee shop, I would go to maybe the most renowned coffee place here in Austin, Texas, and I would try coffee and I would watch how they make it. And I would ask maybe someone who has years, the barista, of experience. And I would say, Excuse me, can you tell me how you get this to be so delightful? What type of cream do you use? How long do you let it steam for? And I would ask questions. I might not be with a notebook writing it down because then they're going to feel like I'm trying to get some trade secrets. But most people are willing to talk about how they made that cup of coffee for you. So I'm learning, I'm developing my skills. Yes, I can read books. I can watch videos, listen to podcasts on coffee, and I can learn the best types of beans, the best type of skills with certain beans, the best type of machinery, mechanisms, and I can say, this is what is going to help me build the best cup of coffee. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some people to taste it. I'm going to say, okay, hey guys, I have this cup of coffee. Can you taste it? Give me a rating on 1 to 10. And I would make sure it's not family because family sometimes lies to you. Rating 1 to 10. Let me know how it is. And they're going to say, oh, it's like an 8 or a 9. And then I would say, how can I make it a 10? I'm looking to develop my skill. I'm not looking at that one point. It's like, oh, I didn't get a perfect 10. We have to look at discipline as how can I be better? How can I become better? Discipline is many different things. Integrity is an easy one. We don't have to spend much time in the blog because the blog does go into integrity. It talks about the moral compass and everything, so you can understand what integrity truly is with examples. Then we go into how you need both in order for things to work effectively when it comes to success. When we look at integrity, it's literally just a moral compass that governs our actions and our decisions. The reason why you do something is going to be based on some level of integrity. For example, we have an epidemic of ladies who are going on the internet and they're doing videos like OnlyFans. Some people are doing provocative things, adult content. But then even some people who are on OnlyFans, they don't, get naked or anything. They'll cook, they'll clean, they'll talk, right? Like Twitch or something, play video games. The level of integrity between the ladies, right? Who's right, who's wrong? No one's right or no one's wrong. Because what's really happening is they say, okay, this is the line. This is my integrity, right? I'm not going to put myself out there like that. I don't want to show my body off like that. My body count is important to me. So I'm not just going out and doing random things to raise that. Okay, great. That's integrity talking. Some people have low levels of integrity. Some people have high levels of integrity. Whichever one you have, it doesn't mean that you are not going to be any more successful if either or, but you do need to know which one you are in order to be successful. And I'm going to be explaining that right now. I just talked about a hot topic. Hot topic is integrity and how it leads to success and discipline. Discipline is a straightforward aspect to being successful. It's something that sometimes people think, well, if I want to be successful, I have to wake up, go to the gym, maybe fast in the morning, eat around afternoon time, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, whatever. And I'm going to magically be this great candidate for success. Well, the secret to success is not that hard. Many people are just not told that they can be successful, right? Many people are just given a standard, and the standard is very low bar. Because if you fail, you didn't really put in much effort. And if you succeeded, it's like, okay, great, because the bar is so low, so it's not even that much work. The people who are willing to be successful to a high level, high regard, they are people who have integrity in their own lives. And integrity is the moral compass, but is also what will you allow in your life? You can have integrity as, I'm not going to work with this type of client, right? So if this type of client is maybe rude, maybe, they like to swear and things like that. Maybe you say, I don't want to have that in my life. And rightfully so, you can choose that. For me, when we do the consultation, I always, give them the A-okay. Hey, if we want, we can go ahead, but I don't think this is going to work for you. And I'll give them a reason why, because I'll tell them their mindset is this way or something like that. And so some might be turned off by that, but like, wait, you don't want to work with me? Listen, I help everybody of all natures, all walks. I just tell it like it is. And if you are in a certain mindset that's not going to move, I don't want you to invest in me and you don't have the success and the progress and the growth that you're looking for. Well, sometimes for people, it's the dice roll. So they're like, okay, I'm going to try it out. And I'm like, I think it's going to be really beneficial. Those are the people who say, oh, this is better than I thought. And then you have the people who are just gung-ho ready. They listen to the podcast. They watch the YouTube motivational videos. They're ready to go. And so I'm like, great. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice your old self? Because many people aren't. Many people love the comfort zone. Will you be dragged down into that? Many people like the ideation of them being on a pedestal and sitting on a throne with a crown on their head. They made it. But many people won't put in the hard work. Many people won't go to war. And I phrase it like that to them. And if they're not ready and willing and they want my coaching program to magically be a pill that changes their whole entire life, it's not going to work that way. The best I do is I help people understand themselves. I help people understand that they have the potential, they have the ability, they have all the capabilities to be successful, regardless of what your mind or what other people's mind said about you or the situation. If you want to learn how to leave this galaxy, sure, we can do it. It's not going to be easy. I say it first day. It's not going to be easy. And then sometimes, people are just so far. Maybe they have high credit card debt. Maybe they are in a bad place mentally. And I will turn them away. I will say, listen, I don't think I'm the best person for you. So for that, I'm going to have to deny the ability to have coaching with me. If you do sign up, I will give you a refund. This is not me saying that you can't be better. It's just that I'm not the best fit for you. It's not that I'm going to grow into the person for you either. Coaching in session is coaching in session for a reason. How many coaches have I had on coaching in session? A lot. What happens in each of those interviews with coaches? We talk about exactly their style of coaching. We talk about their history. Sometimes we go off of the basics of what they do because you probably know what a life coach does by now. You probably know what a mindset coach or a fitness online trainer does. You know those already. How can we be successful? How can you help people be successful? What were your challenges? How did you overcome them? That's more enticing to listen to and understand because we are developing wisdom. I'm learning from other people's mistakes. And that is something that is not really taught in school. Yes, a lot of our teachers are younger. Yeah, we still have some veteran teachers there. But more teachers today are going to be of the younger variation. Teaching has changed quite drastically. It's not about success. It's not about being the best. It's literally about being the standard. So when we look at success and we look at how discipline and integrity can come together to create a synergy that makes success possible, we have to understand that we have to have the level of integrity for ourselves too, because the discipline we talk about. So who I choose as a client, that's integrity. Who I want to work with, again, integrity, same aspect of choosing clients. But then you have to go a little bit further. How do I want my family to be? How do I want my work life to be? How do I want my mindset to be? Will I do shitty deals? If someone gave me $1 million to say something, would I do it? That's integrity. That's the balance. So you can have all the discipline in the world, but you can have poor levels of integrity. It's the same thing as mixing rock, concrete, right, with sand, but then not adding the right mixture. You put too much sand and not enough concrete mix. So you're thinking, oh, I'm cutting corners. I'm saving costs. Yes, you are saving costs, but then you get a building that collapses in 15 years or in 10 years or whatever. How can we build an empire? And that's basically what we did. We basically said the road to success is discipline and integrity, right? You do have to have that level. Who you choose as a partner, who you have around you, the island that you want to create and cultivate is up to you. You get to choose that. And many people don't think they get to choose. For some reason, people think, oh, this is the life that I was given. This is my circumstance. This is my situation. It's very similar to the Black culture. There's been talk, and it's going to be an ongoing conversation. Oh, the Black community is very destructive. I talked about BLM. It's not a mindset OD. It's just a mindset. This is coaching in session. the mindset of individuals who are African American is wildly different from their counterparts, from all the other people around them, because they think in a different way. They're in competition with each other, and that makes no sense. I know I was talking to my barber probably a couple of months ago. He was like, I'm coming on your podcast. I was like, well, I can't have you on Coaching in Session because there's a reason why it's called Coaching in Session. You have to be a coach. However, he's a barber, but he's talking to these young men who are going in to get haircuts. He's being like a life coach to them, giving advice, but it's to a different level, right? It's that basis. I might give you a quote. You might walk away with it. You might hold it. I know when growing up, I learned a lot from my barbers, but at the same time, I don't hold them as a mentor. I don't hold them as a life coach because what they taught me was just wisdom. Yes, I understand wisdom can be imbued by mentors, by coaches, but it was a different level, right? This was just a byproduct of the conversation. You might say, this is a byproduct of the conversation, and I'm telling you, it is different, right? A mentor, a coach, someone's going to change your life. You're going to say, this man, this woman changed my life. There's a difference. That's why the road to success, there's a difference when it comes to levels of discipline and different when it comes to levels of integrity. What you're going to find in this read is that success is going to be the pursuit of what you're trying to get, and then you have to figure out how to get it. The trick is don't give up. Many people give up. Why do they give up? Will you have the discipline to keep going? Will you have the integrity to not do the things that you're not supposed to be doing? It's a mix between the two. There is a balance. You do have to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, and when you can show people that you can be trusted, credibility goes up and success smooths out. For example, people can't trust a gym trainer who's overweight. I remember at my gym, I go to LA Fitness, and there was a trainer who was overweight. And he would get clients because, of course, he was like, I think the only trainer at the time because the gym had just opened up. So he was the person in there, and he would get clients. And I would see him work with a new client for maybe a session or two. And then all of a sudden, no more. You're not going to hire a trainer who's out of shape, right? Maybe it looks just like you and they're putting you on the treadmill. I would probably say if I had a trainer that was not as in good shape and maybe was heavier than me, I might say, hey, hop on the treadmill with me. Let's do this together. Let's make it a team workout, right? That would be more enjoyable for me. But I'm probably not going to work out with someone who has poor discipline and was going to go into a role of a trainer and have the cojones to say, okay, I'm going to train you to be the best, and you're not the best. Now, I understand age can be a factor. For example, Mike Tyson and Cus D'Amato. Cus was really old, and he was telling Mike, hey, I'm going to make you the greatest fighter ever. Mike could have said, oh, you're too old. You can't help me. But Mike said, okay, I'm going to trust you. And he did everything Cus said. And Cus protected him. And he learned amazing things. Mike Tyson did amazing things in his life. When you look at the path that you take, Mike had discipline, but then he had poor habits too, right? The drugs, the issues with money, hanging around the wrong people. And so it wasn't until he lost it all that he could appreciate it. So his moral compass had shifted. And he can say now, you can look at the interviews in his podcast, that he's more happy now than he was when he was fighting. Now, of course, he might miss that person to some degree, maybe inside mindset, but he has learned that the integrity that he holds today is very different than the mindset he had growing up. He was a fighter. He had to be that monster. So you do have to figure out, well, what do you need? What levels of integrity do you need? Do you have to hurt people in order to be successful? Or can you find a way to be successful and everyone else flourishes? I always say when you are looking down on someone, be sure to offer a hand so you can lift them up, because it is easier to do good in the world and see people happy and flourish, because that benefits you. It benefits you more than it benefits the person. Yes, you might change that person's life, but it benefits you. That's why I get very upset when I watch those videos of people like giving homeless people money and they'll take them shopping and stuff. Great. I love the fact that you're doing that, but turn the camera off. That is integrity. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I saw you're struggling. I want you to be better. This is what coaching in session does. The integrity is there. People can see it. Episode after episode, you can come, you can get your coaching. I understand coaching is a financial commitment, and that is why I wanted to make coaching in session. We're going strong. We are just about to hit 350, I believe, on our way to 400 episodes. Yes, I know it's a little bit away, but it seems like every 50 episodes when I say, okay, well, we're almost at the next, 100, I go, whoa, where did the time go? Because it feels like just the other day, I was creating the intro or I was messing with the music or whatever. Now it's live. Now we're here. We're building something. Success doesn't have to be about the money, the glamour, all the fame and accolades. I understand that can be an aspect to your success. But when you can add discipline and integrity, you get something more fulfilling than just blatant success. You get a fulfillment that many people who have achieved greatness in life, and I'm talking about these people earn millions of dollars a year, right? They do what you want to do. They come to me and they're worried because they're not happy. They're worried because they thought they were going to be in a better place. I understand where they're coming from. I understand the issues that they're having, and we just have to do some small modifications. We give them a couple of actionable steps they take immediately. From there, they're already in a better mindset. 1 to maybe 3 sessions with them, and they're right on track to where they want to be. So if you want to be in a better place right now, if you haven't found the success that you're looking for, if it's always elusive, if you cannot get the discipline to get up, wake up, show up every single day, if you have a poor moral compass, whether it be to yourself or to others, I encourage you to read this blog. It's going to be a short and good read. You're going to learn so much. And then after, check us out, revenconcepts.com. We'll be more than happy to help on that journey to your success. My name is Michael Rearden. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me, always coachinginsession@gmail.com. And I'll see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.